will cooperate and will not try to consume, because effectively, in a real system, this would have to be guaranteed by some physical device. But here, this is just an algorithm that decides that solves the problem, but in fact, everybody has to comply. So how does it work precisely? And this is really a system that is used in many cases already to find prices in the power market. So we suppose that there are two bits here in this system. There is one that wants 4 kilowatt and pay 3, and the other one wants 5 kilowatt and he wants to pay 7. So if you look at the graph here, this is the demand curve, well known in economy. And if you look at higher price, if you look, for instance, a price of 8 euro, at that price, nobody wants to consume anything, so the quantity is 0. Then if you go down, you find 7. At 7, the second one is okay. Okay, yeah, I want to consume 5. But of course, if you reach the price of 6, he is still happy to consume. He says, yeah, I want to pay 7, but at 6, I will also consume. Then going down to 4, this one also still wants to consume, but below 4, the other one goes in and says, oh, okay, at 4, I also want to consume. And so you see, this curve is constructed simply by adding in the right way the different quantity to create this demand curve. This is really classical in economy. That's how it works. Then for the offer, it's the same. Very high price. Then, of course, everybody wants to produce at that price. We have two producers, one at 2, one at 9, and they want a price of 1 and 4. So if you are at a price of 5, of course, both of them, they want to produce. Then below 4, the second one doesn't want to produce anymore, and it stops its production. And what we do every minute is that we simply match the demand and the offer, and here we will say, okay, the price will be 4 and the quantity will be 5, and this point there is supposed to have some good characteristic in the sense that it leads to some optimal behavior in the system. So we didn't verify that, but we trust the economists to have found a good system, and at least this will settle the system such that there will be a unique quantity, so the offer will be equal to the demand. And here we see that there are many ways to find other points on that curve, because a little problem that we have with this solution is that you see that these sources will offer 4, but in fact it wanted to produce 9. So in reality, we don't know if it's really realistic that if we have small-scale system, that if you have a fridge, for instance, the fridge wants to consume 1 kilowatt, but maybe if you say, okay, you can consume 0.5, we are not sure it's going to work. So we would need to go and improve that algorithm and maybe just forget about this optimum point and find another one. In terms of implementation, this is quite simple. We have used this framework, Omnet++, which really helps us in getting an implementation fast and easy. We start with config file. So we put all our assumption in the system through some text file with input for the wind profile, for the different load parameters. Everything is inputted there. Then we go to the simulator, which is written in C++. So every object has its dynamic implemented in different files. And then we work in 2 phases. One phase is the simulation that will output a big file with every event locked into this file. And then in a second step, we will analyze this file and just decide what is interesting to look at. And this is in a post-processing phase that we create graphs and video and different analyses that are interesting for us. So yes, to give you the detail, we are outputting the 2 curves that I shown before, the red curve and the blue curve, the demand and the offer. We output that in a file, and then we create a video using mencoder. So we have used all the tools that are available there, very easy. Then this output log file is analyzed with a Python script that we have created, and then we use Matplotlib for those who are interested to create different graphs. Just to give you an idea, the simulation for 24 hours takes about 10 minutes to run, like just an idea. On my PC it's 20 minutes, but then it's not a good one. We create a 45 meg file, and it takes 20 minutes to create the video. And the vec file, so the output file, is 285 meg, so it takes quite a while to go through it. And it takes about 2 minutes per graph to create the output. The architecture of the program For those maybe you would like to join the coding there later, maybe you see it's just a normal architecture. It's like an object-oriented thing. We have 3 different load. Of course, they appear as 3 different classes that just implement a common behavior. So you just need to be able, if you are a load, you need to be able to send bits. If you are a source, you need to be able to send offer to the grid. And if you are what we call a buy, so one which is able to do both, then you need to be able to send both. And so that these 3 different classes, and we derive them in each separate classes where we implement the dynamics of the object, so the dynamics that has been explained in the previous part of the presentation. Then we have the communication channel that is implemented by the simulator. The messages are sent to a system that is implemented as a grid object, and the grid has the auction that will settle the price according to the different bid and offer that were received during the previous minutes. So that's the architecture. The type of message, as I said, they are inspired by a TCP/IP network, which is the kind of thing that are simulated usually using Omnet++. So this is quite a realistic behavior that you can implement in no time on a real network. We have encapsulation with a type. Just the type is always set to 1, and maybe for future use, we will have different kind of message. Then we have the type of order. We have 4 different type of message. Either it's a bit, either it's an offer. Then it can be an acknowledgement for one of those 2, an acknowledgement for a bit, an acknowledgement for an offer. And that's it. You can easily parse this kind of message once you know the type of message it is. We have a string also in this packet which says for which kind of contract you are bidding, because for the moment we have only one contract, which is the next minute contract. But of course, there is no reason why we could have different contracts on this virtual market. And we could also have loads that want to consume for 5 minutes, for 15 minutes, or even for the whole day. And then we are already planning to have different kind of contracts depending on the needs of the machine that are part of the network. Then for every message, we have a quantity and a price. And I think this is quite straightforward. If you are bidding, you will put the quantity that you bid for and the price that you want. If it's an acknowledgement, then the price will be the system price, and the quantity will be 0 if you cannot produce or cannot consume, or the quantity that you can produce. So we have put the code, of course, as under the GPL. And we have a Subversion repository on the web. So if anyone is interested to check that out and to send contribution, of course, that would be just perfect. So the code is there and available for everyone to inspect and to use. Now we'll go to the next section.
So time to see some results. As I told in the introduction, we have we suggest to go through 3 case studies. This will enable you to better understand how the system works as a whole. The first scenario that we want to simulate is a scenario which we call the fixed price. So we assume that there is only one big source, the diesel, always offering at the same price. And we assume here 50. So why do we simulate that? It has actually little interest for the effects we want to show, but it's just a kind of baseline scenario, because we want to make sure that the sum of the consumption of all the loads corresponds to something realistic for a residential consumption load pattern. We want also to illustrate the behaviors of some loads. The second scenario, I will show you later the results. The second scenario is a scenario where we have different type of sources. We have the diesel, which is always available, and as I said, bidding at a maximum price 99. And then we have the other type of sources, photovoltaic panel and wind. Now, in this scenario, we assume that the wind is stable, and you see on the graphic, the wind is always producing 100 kilowatts. And just to give you an idea, one household typically has an average consumption of a bit less than, I would say, 1 kilowatt.